Today we are looking at 50 strange and or little known facts about the United States. Now, before we get into this, I got a side note for you. There are some extra strange things that have gone on in this country that I had to take out. Yeah, I went down a long and twisted Google rabbit hole researching this video. There was in total about 20 things that ended up on the editing room floor, so to speak, that definitely would have gotten me demonetized. Maybe I'll make another video with those and put it up on like my blogging channel, or I'll just put it on Twitter. Who knows? If you want to see that one, let me know in the comment section below. Today's video is kind of fun. Some of these things you might know, but I'm sure most of them you don't. But I guarantee you're gonna find quite a few that are really interesting. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 1, the state of Alaska is big. As a matter of fact, it is so large that it can hold the entire state of Texas inside it twice. Number 2, there's a town in Pennsylvania called Intercourse. Number 3, the world's largest frying pan is in Rose Hill, North Carolina, and they actually use it to cook with occasionally. It's not just some fiberglass frying pan they put up for decorations. Number 4, the first American flag was sewn by Betsy Ross, who was only paid $1.25 for her work. And even by today's standards, it wasn't much. In today's money, she got paid $34. Number 5, Wyoming was the first state to give women the right to vote. It was in 1869. Number 6, there's a town in Arizona called Nothing. Number 7, the tallest mountain in the United States is Denali. It's actually the highest mountain peak in North America with a summit elevation of 20,310 feet above sea level. If you look at base to peak, because it's the land that it's on is above sea level, it's about 18,000 feet. Number 8, there's a giant ball of twine in Cocker City, Kansas. It weighs over 17,000 pounds. Like most of you, my first thought was, why? Number 9, the United States is the only country to have landed humans on the moon. Number 10, the state of Montana has 3 times as many cows as it does people. Number 11, the shortest river in the world is the Roe River in Montana. It's only 201 feet long. Number 12, the Statue of Liberty was a gift from France that arrived in New York City in 1885. Here's the strange thing. It showed up in the United States in 214 crates. Putting it together was going to cost a lot of money New York City didn't have. There was at least 5 other major cities that wanted it that had the money to put it up. New York City was about to lose it. So it sat in crates on Bedloe Island. Giant newspaper man Joseph Pulitzer started a funds-raising campaign that got the money to put Lady Liberty up to where she is to this day. In 1956, Congress renamed Bedloe Island to Liberty Island. 13, there's a town in Nebraska called Monowai, and it only has 1 person. Yes, it's a real town. It's incorporated. Number 14, the United States has the largest number of billionaires in the world. Number 15, the highest temperature ever recorded in the United States was 134 degrees Fahrenheit. That's in California's Death Valley, and it was in 1913. Number 16, the longest suspension bridge in the United States is the Verrazano Narrows Bridge in New York City, which spans over 13,000 feet. It connects Brooklyn with Staten Island. I was going to do one of my little things where I like to give you the wrong answer, like I was going to say it connects Staten Island to Queens, but New Yorkers lose it if you make that mistake. Even if I say I'm kidding afterwards, they still won't recover. 17, the United States has the largest prison population in the world. 18, the first McDonald's restaurant was opened in San Bernardino, California in 1940. It was just a single place. It wasn't until 1955 when businessman Ray Kroc got involved and started it on the path to what it is today. 19, the state of Maine has the largest toothpick manufacturing plant in the world. Like sleep tonight. Number 20, the world's largest diamond was found in a South African mine and was later cut and polished in New York City. 21, the United States has the largest economy in the world. 22, the first successful powered airplane flight was made by the Wright brothers in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina in 1903. The strange thing is, it wasn't at Kitty Hawk. It was south of Kitty Hawk at a place called Kill Devil Hills. And the other strange thing, most people think it was just a glider. No, it had a motor. 23, the largest ball of paint in the world is in Alexandria, Indiana. You know why? Because that's where it should be. 24, the Grand Canyon was formed over millions of years by the Colorado River. Yes, millions of years. 25. The first public library in the United States was opened in Boston in 1854. 26. The first successful heart transplant was performed in the United States in 1967. I didn't know it was that far back. I thought for sure it was going to be in the 1980s. 27. The state of California has more residents than the entire country of Canada. They have more maple syrup, though, than California. 28. There's a town in Iowa called What Cheer. And it's a fitting name because this place, there's no cheer going on here. It's nothing but boarded up buildings. 29. The United States consumes more chocolate per capita than any other country. 30. The highest waterfall in the United States is Yosemite Falls in California. It drops 2,400 feet. 31. The longest escalator in the Western Hemisphere is in the Wheaton Metro Station in Maryland. Number 32. The United States is home to more serial killers than any other nation. Like, way more. I don't know if it's something in our water or what's going on, but we always seem to have a new serial killer every couple years. I mean, we have some that are working all the time, That sounds great. But yeah, it just always seems like every handful of years, we get some new serial killer that's been at it for like 10 years. 33. The first U.S. capital was New York City. 34. The United States has the world's largest military budget. It's over $800 billion right now. Next in line is China, and they estimate theirs is about $250 billion. And India's after them, and they have less than $100 billion. 35. There's a town in Oregon called Boring. 36. The United States has more tornadoes than any country in the world every single year. 37. The highest capital city in the United States is Santa Fe, New Mexico, at an elevation of 7,198 feet. 38. The world's largest snowflake on record fell in Montana in 1887. It measured 15 inches wide and 8 inches thick. At some point, doesn't it stop being a snowflake and becomes a really nice looking chunk of ice that fell from the sky? 39. The United States has the most airports. 40. The first drive-in movie theater in the world opened in New Jersey in 1933. 41. The first person to receive a Social Security check was Ida Mae Fuller, who received $22.54 on January 31st, 1940. 42. The first ever televised presidential debate was between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon in 1960. 43. The U.S. rail network is comprised of nearly 140,000 miles of track and over 100,000 bridges. 44. Paul Geidel Jr. He served the longest prison sentence of any inmate in the United States. 68 years, 257 days. Now, there's another guy that spent more time in prison, but he had been out on parole for a few years, so Geidel spent his time continuously, even refusing to leave at one point. Yeah, they gave him parole and he refused to leave. He stayed an additional 6 years, then finally left to a nursing home. 45. The first automobile accident in the United States occurred in New York City in 1891. 46. The Louisiana Purchase, in which the U.S. bought vast amounts of land from France, costs only 3 cents an acre. 47. Yuma, Arizona's high school team is called the Criminals. The school was established in 1909. Yuma High's mascot came in when the original school building was destroyed by fire in 1910. The school then used the Yuma Territorial Prison, which had been closed for the next 3 years. Classes were actually held in the cell blocks, and assemblies took place in the prison hospital. Because of this, and the fact that a Phoenix newspaper one time called them a bunch of criminals because they thought they cheated in a football game, the name stuck. 48. The U.S. has the highest rate of opioid addiction in the world. 49. In 1893, there were only 2 cars in the state of Kentucky. They had a head-on collision. And number 50. The United States has the highest rate of teenage pregnancy among developed countries. I brought that up in a video a few years back, and some guy argued it was because of bikinis. Yes, teenagers' swimwear is getting them pregnant. Alright, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.